to any man of common sense and fair play that the social evolution of man is mainly obliged to religion and is derived from religion. Where religion has not taught something, even thousands of years of culture have not added, and they still remain as crude as they were before some religion taught them. I have been making certain minor, small comparisons to make the society here understand what I mean. So I will tell you, I will give you an illustration. While I was here in the university, once the same question was asked of me by a student, and he said, well, differently in a different way, but ultimately it was the same. So I said, look here, this morning I was discussing with you that you people here, all of you, when you go for urination, you don't clean yourself. The result is, there is so much filth and so much bad smelling, and if you belong to a higher class, you will have a bath perhaps a day or twice a week, but the ordinary laborer doesn't do that. So you are a haven for germs and filth, and the dry cleaning you use generally, that is also all filthy. Now you have a very highly advanced culture, but what you are lacking is your religion never taught you to do this, so you don't know. You have not achieved it by natural evolution. Our religions taught us, so even in the most backward culture, the lowest placed Muslim would be positively cleaner in this regard than the highest representative of your highly cultured society. So that is one illustration. Nobody can deny the part religion has played in making man what he is today. That is human being. If religion had not played its part, the society would go back thousands of years backwards and would remain a beastly society. So despite these so-called failures of religion, in attempting to raise the man to a much loftier state, what it has achieved is quite enough too. It's never without achievement. And every religious movement has left man at a higher level than before. So although religion first raises him to a much loftier position, and then we observe him falling, so we think every time religion failed. But that's a very cursory examination, very superficial examination. The reality is that when you find a people under the influence of religion rising to great heights and then falling, they never fall back to the original level. They are much higher placed than previously. Look for instance at the Arabs. Many historians criticize Islamic history and the achievements of Islam for that matter, and say, look here, the moment your prophet closed his eyes, what happened in the Arab? They were the same old nomads fighting with each other, killing each other and this and that. We see something like that, but not what happened before Ahmad came. The Arab of pre-Islamic era is a very different being from the fighting Arab of a post-Islamic era. It's a highly refined thing, agitated in mind, cultured, less capable of cruelty, much more outward looking and service-minded and sacrificial. It's a completely different thing. I mean, the Arab which fell down to the lowest level after Ahmad departed. So this is how the Pharisees crop up. And the non-religious people, thinkers, think they have won a great victory over religion by telling their religious followers, look here, religion achieved some heights and then it fell. Other religions came and then they fell, and so on and so forth. What they miss is that every fall left people at a much higher level than the previous fall, and so on and so forth. So we are rising in steps. Religion wants us to gain much more, of course. That is the hierarchy ideal. But because of human nature and so many other factors, and perhaps this is the plan of things. Because there is a free will which is permitted to exercise. This is why religion cannot achieve. I mean, it can be forcefully enforced, by compulsion enforced, but this is not the plan of things. This is why I said the large plan of God's scheme, large scheme of Allah, which is called plan of things, that has also to be taken into account. But all said and done, whatever man has today of refinement and culture, he owes this to not only one religion but to various religions and a series of religions. And there is a perpetual, continuous evolution of man for which mainly religion is responsible.
I have a similar question of similar nature. One of my friends asked me that by creating human being, God did not do a justice to the human being. That He sent us in this world without any choice to sit into this hard examination, that you go into this exam, these are good and these are bad. But if He had given us a choice before creation, some of the human being might have opted not to sit into this examination.
You are an engineer.
Yes, sir.
And are you a civil engineer?
Mechanical
engineer. So before creating a machine, show me how can you give it a choice. Demonstrate it first.
He put the question that this...
No, I'm putting this question to you now.
You design on the paper and then you make a model of it. If it works, you create it. If it doesn't work, you don't create it.
How can you ask the thing before creation?
So that's the question. I mean, this tells that God did not do justice.
No, this is not the result. You say, why didn't God do an impossible thing? This is the question. Why didn't God do an insane thing? Your question amounts to this simply, because when I asked you to demonstrate it, now when are you with children? Did you ask a child before he was born? No, tell me honestly. Why did you do injustice to him?
He said it's God's creation.
No, he doesn't say, he doesn't know it. I'm asking you, this is your philosophy of life.
No, but the question is, we say that the child has been...
Alright, forget God for the time being. Let's understand there is no God, for instance. For a while, let's go together in this way. And you have given birth to a few children. And you never asked them before they were born, did you?
No, because I didn't.
Why not? Why can't you be just to them?
Same thing happened with me.
If you are such a criminal, you should be treated criminally. Alright, propose a different scheme, please.
This was a question put forward by a non-MD doctor.
This is a question put to me by an MD now. So I am answering him in another way. I request you to give an alternative plan, please.
I have given the answer that there is no choice. God created without any choice.
No, I'm not saying that. This is wrong answer. I say